we are talking about juicing today, the benefits of juicing, so much good to come out of this. And I have the privilege of sitting here with Gillian Berry, who has a lot of experience. She's going to share her story with us. So, Gillian, if you will first start out telling us what got you interested in juicing, like how did this first come into your life?
Yeah, well, I first went raw vegan, which you interviewed me. It was amazing. I had so much fun with you. I first went raw vegan in 2016, and that totally changed my life. So over the first few years of being raw vegan, and maybe the first few years before, I was drinking a little bit of green juice here and there, and it made me feel so good. And I'd always heard here and there, like from Joe Cross and Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, the documentary, or heard a story here and there of people like healing or having amazing experiences on juice fasts. And I always kind of wanted to try it. It just didn't, I always thought like you must need to stay at home. I had kids. I was like, you must not be able to do that, right? Like it's takes up all your energy. Like I didn't really know. So rewind to 2018. We had sold everything. We had moved to Costa Rica and it was kind of stressful for me because I had my dream life here in Toronto. We had another home and we were on the road. And then we took a trip to Florida. And then it was just kind of stressful being on the road with the family and all of this. And I think I was thinking like I wanted to do something for a bit of mental clarity. So there was a juice bar there and I decided to try my first juice cleanse ever. And I didn't make it through the first day. It was like so difficult. I was like, how do people do this? This is crazy. I think I just wasn't drinking enough juice though. And then I think I tried there in Florida again. And I think I might have made it through a couple days, but I forget. But I didn't really stick with it then. And I was just like, whatever. But I was still raw. 2019, we came back to Toronto. We ended up separating. And so I was living on my own with the kids and going through a bit of a hard time and still feeling good from the raw diet. But still, life can hit you no matter how clean you're eating. If you're going through divorce, you lost everything. There's all this crap happening. I feel like before I experienced all that, I thought, well, when I'm raw vegan, like nothing can hit me or really affect me, but still hard times really did. So I was thinking, I just want something to give me some clarity for like the next steps in my life or like take things to the next level. Cause I know what I put inside my body has such an impact on that, on how I feel and my thoughts and everything. So I decided to try juice cleanse. And that was, I think it was November 2019. I started it and I did 37 days. And it was the best 37 days of my whole life. It really took me out of like the divorce slump because I think I had an attachment to the relationship and a really hard time with things not working out. And just to everything that had happened, it had really been so much, even more than the things I'd said had happened. And the juice cleanse just took me to another level. I felt so incredible. I had more energy than I'd ever had. Like the whites of my eyes were so white. My skin was so amazing. My dreams were so good. And I felt so good. So I was hooked ever since then. So I did that 37 days. And so I didn't really go into it for health reasons. I know a lot of people go into it for health reasons, but I more so just went into it for like mental clarity and things like that. And it was such a deep spiritual experience. I found there were just like, I was picking up on a lot of synchronicities and signs and things when I go places, lots of things were happening and I was manifesting and it was a great experience. And then I did do another juice fast last year. I did two because I was dealing with some health things and it got rid of it right away, like within 3 days. And it was incredible. So I love, 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 love juicing. And so I usually have juice every day. I had a watermelon juice with mint just before our call and I love juicing.
Sounds amazing. And you have a video with recipes that you have in your daily life.
I have a new one with recipes that I'm posting next week.
Awesome. I am so excited. Gillian is a YouTuber and she has got amazing information on her channel. You guys need to go check it out. And her own videos are amazing, but she also has got tons of interviews with other people that are raw vegan and their experiences. And I have enjoyed watching and listening. And I did a raw challenge. Your videos help to motivate me. It's very different. It was different for me. I don't live that way. Mm-hmm. And so to be able to go through this, kind of know how to navigate and, just to constantly hear about all of the benefits. I mean, I know that fruits and veggies are full of exactly what we need, but so many people want to hate on juice fasts, and it's because they just don't really know and understand the details of what is going on. So they want to say, it's way too much sugar, but they don't understand the actual components and how our bodies run on that energy. And by taking out the fiber. It is giving our body the ability to just absorb and assimilate, which so many people have lost. Their own personal body has lost the ability to be able to absorb and assimilate nutrients. And that is why they
Yeah.
are suffering from so many diseases. They have gut dysbiosis, which, from what I've heard, that is what was happening to you when you actually began eating raw in the first place. Is that correct? Like you
Yeah,
had.
when I went raw, I had a lot of gut problems, and then I had a lot of digestive problems. I was so tired all the time. I would crash all the time, panic attacks, blood sugar problems, like hypoglycemia. They said I had, like, many times I would faint if I didn't eat breakfast. Not many times, but a few times in my life. And my blood sugars were just a mess. If I didn't eat, I would get like so grumpy and just feel like I could faint, whereas I never feel like that now ever. And I consume a lot of fruit and a lot of fruit sugar. And I've interviewed people who, like Sarah Erica, she did 1 year on juice and she drank mostly fruit juice. And at the beginning of her year, she was in a wheelchair having a lot of health problems. And the doctors were just like, there's nothing else we can do. Like they tried everything, right? So she was like, I'm going to try juicing. And then at the end of the year, she was running a 5K. It's like just the most inspiring story.
So
And so, yeah, she drank a lot of fruit juices too.
I love hearing all this information and be able to share it with people. Like you have a choice, and so many over and over and over again. So many people say, I went to the doctor, go through this entire train, and like it's a long period of time, doctor appointment, to no
Yeah.
avail. There's nothing we can do. You're going to be on this medication. But then to hear the testimonies of all of these people who have healed their bodies just like this,
Mm-hmm.
it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And so that,
Mm-hmm.
like, we're our own test studies, and what is
Yeah.
showing proof. And there is, Joe Cross, you have an interview with him and his amazing story. And then also there's a book. I'm trying to remember the name, the Gerson theory.
The
Gerson.
Gerson Institute, the Gerson, they have
Yes.
a book. I forget what it's
Yes.
called, but there's the Gerson Institute where they heal people naturally. But they definitely have a book. So they do mostly raw, but they do some cooked food as well. And they incorporate a lot of juicing and a lot of enemas as well. Yeah.
I love it. It's just, there's just so much evidence. So you did 37 days.
37 days, which I mean, it sounds like a while, but then some people I interview do like 100 days, 200 days, 300 days. And I'm just like, and I get it because once you really get on it, you're just like, once you get past the first few days, for me, like the first 2 or 3 days, the hardest because your body's not used to it. And like your thoughts are just like, you think about food like 6,000 times a day. But if you drink enough calories and you can get through those first few days, you might have bloating in those first few days. Might not feel so good, but once you get through those, then usually it takes a turn for the better and you feel incredible. So that's why some of these people, they do it for so long because it's just like nothing you've ever experienced. You're like on some spiritual high. And for a lot of people, they do experience some health improvements. And so there's a lot of reasons for them to stay on it. And people might think it's crazy, like 100 days on only juice or 37 days, but I mean, you feel great. And the key for me is drinking a lot. Like these 32-ounce jars, usually I'll drink like at least 8 to 12 of them on a juice cleanse. This is a smoothie, but of fresh made juices, and I'll also drink fresh coconut water. That really helps me stick to a cleanse. A juice cleanse is incorporating freshly cracked coconut water too. But yeah, I drink a lot. And if I don't drink enough, then I feel tired and weak. But if I drink a lot, then I feel more energized than I ever feel on food. And it's incredible. I can't recommend it enough if people are out there thinking about trying it. It's so incredible. And I think a lot of people that knock it, like maybe they've never tried it, I think like, and I mean, I get it for some people it doesn't work, but a lot of people it works.
Well, okay, there's two things that I want to ask. One of them is, what did you do to safely come off of that? And then the other one is, I did a 3-day juice fast. And what you said was, more juices. I was
Yeah.
hangry and, just trying to manage my weight because I went and picked it up from a local place and
Mhm.
having more. I want to talk about that second. So first of all, how did you readjust to life, to, somewhat normal life when you were coming off of those 37 days?
Yeah. So I remember when I did the 37 days, I didn't break it in the proper way. I just did an interview with Maggie J. Jackson. She is a juice fast coach. So I haven't posted it yet, but she talked about how to break a juice fast properly. because you do have to be careful, especially after a long time on your digestion, not eating food, right? For me, when I'm on a juice fast, like I crave salads and fats and things like that. So really, when I broke the juice fast, to do it properly, I think you should have like some people do the prune test where they soak prunes for a certain number of hours and then they first drink the water that it's soaked in and eat the prunes and see how fast things move through them. And then I think they say if things don't start moving, you don't have a bowel movement within a certain amount of time, you need to juice fast longer. I don't think I did. I didn't do the prune test with that, but to me, I would do like watermelon and then work your way into like papaya and like melons and start like that to break a fast.
So really hydrating foods. Start back with really
Yeah, like easy to digest, not like fats like avocado or nuts and things would be hard to digest. You would not want to break your fast with that or like a big cooked meal, in my opinion. So I think ideally you'd want to have like some light fruits that are easy to digest and work your way into heavier foods. But there's a real method. A lot of people say like for how long you fasted, say you fast for 40 days, they say you need to take like 20 days working on breaking it, half the time of the fast. So that's the rule people usually generally go by. But that's not what I did when I did the 37 days. I just was like, I'm bored with this now. I broke the juice fast because I just at that point felt a bit bored with it and ready to eat again. So I went to Whole Foods and I made a big salad. I still felt fine. It wasn't ideal though to break it like that. So I would not recommend that to anybody. I don't think I would do that now, but that's what I did.
I think it was a little bit easier for you because you went straight to raw foods
Yeah,
instead of a
true.
burger or, you know,
True.
something like
Yeah.
that. You had that advantage. So that was really good. Okay. So the second question about when I did the 3-day fast, because eventually I would like to try more. How did you know what to put in those individual juices to make sure that you were covering all of the nutrients that you needed within a day?
Yeah. And I just want to say too, like I said before, I think the first 3 days can be really hard and your bowels still aren't like totally cleared out from what you were eating before. It can be super easy to get grumpy. And a lot of people can get backed up and they're like, I'm not having bowel movements. Like this isn't working. But no, like typically if you give it like 5 to 10 days, that'll change. Your bowels will be moving. Your stomach will feel like flatter and better than ever. You'll be breathing better than ever. And I think it's really important to drink freshly made juices. Like, I think it's just so key. I noticed such a huge difference. I think all these places that make fresh made juices are great, like that make the bottled ones, like they're great and they're still like pretty fresh, like they're made to drink within a few days. But I notice a huge difference on my body and how I feel like energized and just like full of life drinking a freshly made green juice that I make at home in my Nama, which I love so much, versus if I pick one up. It's like night and day. So I personally wouldn't do a juice cleanse where I just had the bottles. I've tried before and I noticed the difference is just like more dull and it's not as good. And as far as like the recipes, I don't know. I just like, I'm pretty simple with my recipes. I think I just like, I love, like I said, the coconut water. So cracking the coconuts. And I love like just fresh, simple orange juice, grapefruit juice. I have a few green juice recipes on my channel, which I love. I love just like one recipe is cucumbers, zucchini, celery, lemon, ginger, parsley, romaine. That one's really good. I love that one. I drink that one almost every day. And I don't know, I just find different recipes and I'll carrot, apple, ginger, just like I like just simple stuff. And I try buying like bulk quantities at the grocery store because you can save money from the produce manager if you ask, can I buy a case? And so that's really helpful too on a juice cleanse. And then, yeah.
I haven't thought about that. That's a good idea to ask them if you can buy a case because you
Yeah.
are using so much more produce at that time. A friend of mine tried a day and she about died. And she said,
Yeah, I get it.
I don't know how you've done 3 days. And I said, well, try it again. And the first time I did it, I did one day and I felt the same way. I felt like I was going to die the first day, but the second day I was like, oh, wow, I probably could have done this again. So
Yeah.
what advice would you have for someone considering it, how to start it, how to navigate through it?
Yeah, well, I would say if you're considering it, watch videos on it for inspiration. Like the documentary that Joe Cross did, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, that was so inspiring. And there's so much content on YouTube and like so much how to. But I would say, first of all, to start, you want to get a juicer if you don't have a juicer. So I use the Nama. I absolutely love it. And I can give you guys a code. I'll give it to Kimberly to put down below so you guys can save on that if you want to get that. But if that's not in your budget, even like you can go online on Kijiji, Craigslist, try find one used for like really cheap because some people get juicers and they don't use them, or ask a friend to borrow one. And there's always a way. And lots of people I interview, they say like once they start juicing, they feel so good, they start manifesting more money and more money to go even longer than they ever desired on the juice fast. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool. So if it's something that interests you, I would definitely consider it. So start with your juicer. And then there's many different recipe books and things like that online. I have a little juicing book I did. And like I said, like buy things by the case, try make as much juice as you can yourself. Try drink at least 8 of these a day. But mind you, I do interview and talk to some people who are like, I can only drink 4. So like you have to listen to your body too. Just because I thrive drinking a lot, I also have 2 kids. I'm so active and busy all the time. And so really listen to your body. And it's just a mental game at first. You have to just really push through and just keep telling yourself it's only a few days, it's hard, and it does get easier as long as you're consuming enough calories. And just know, like, you will, if you're doing it right and consuming enough calories, you will be full of energy and able to do more than you even want to do. So I know some people get worried, like, about work or like taking care of their tasks. It is a lot of work sometimes, like preparing all the juices and stuff like that, but it really pays off. It's really worth it. And you do, like I said, start to feel really good after the first few days. And yeah, just like get through those thoughts, just distract yourself when those thoughts are coming up, like do something else, focus on what you're passionate about, what your purpose is, or like go for a walk or just drink more juice and then the cravings will go away.
Yeah.
And for me, like I said, really the coconut water, just really the freshly cracked coconuts, I'll buy them by the cases and I'll crack them and put them in jars like this and leave them in the fridge. I crack those ahead of time and they just really help me stay on track. But with my juices, I try make as many fresh as I can and drink them right away rather than batch juicing. I know for some people it's easier to batch juice, but the best effects you'll get is if you can make them as close to possible as drinking them. And I know some people even bring their juicers to work or like do what you got to do. You know what I mean? It's inspiring. People around you will get inspired and they'll notice a difference and a glow and an energy, and it could just change your life.
Yeah. I'm a little bit concerned about the juices that they sell in the grocery store because I know even with the absolute top-notch $20,000 juicer, that's what these stores are using, that once you bottle it, the enzymes start to leave within 5 days at the absolute most, and that's for that $20,000 machine. So you have a juice in the grocery store that's been sitting on the shelf, I don't know, a week or 2. You know, how much value can you really be getting out of that? I'd be concerned.
And you can tell a difference. You can tell a difference. Like listen to your body. That's what I do. I don't listen to too much what other people are saying. I listen and then I try for myself. So I've tried by buying those juices, even the best quality ones that like the best juicers, the best ones ever. And they can be great. They serve a great purpose. I'm not knocking those stores that make those juices and stuff because they are a great option. If like you're on the go, you're in the city or you're in your town and you like want to get something healthy and you know, then they serve a great purpose.
Yes.
But as far as on a juice fast, like listen to your body. Do you feel as good? Like try it with the real juices first.
Yeah.
And then try with those. When I drink the real juices, I feel so much life and energy, so much life force and just amazingness. And then if I'll have one of those, I kind of just feel like a nothing, right? It's kind of just like I'm drinking something. It's not, so it's night and day.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like you said, you know, it still has value. If I were going to go and drink a sweet tea and I choose a grocery store juice, I mean, there's like no comparison there. Way better option. But I really wanted to bring this information to everyone because of all of the different messages that are being talked about out there. You hear people say, well, we don't need to detox. Our bodies detox every night when we go to bed. Our bodies are great at detoxing all on their own. And yes, they were meant for that, but we are overloaded with toxins and the body can only take so much. And unfortunately, we live in this society, the majority of us, depending on your location, where it's a little bit too much for our liver to handle. And then it starts affecting the rest of our system. Most people that I know are eating a little bit too much processed foods. The body can't handle it. We stop absorbing, we stop assimilating. And did you know that gum chewers are actually messing up the enzymatic function of our body? Because as you're chewing gum, naturally when we are chewing, the body's like, oh, I need enzymes to help digest my food. Well, there's no food going in. Eventually, the body says, oh, there's no food coming in. I don't need to produce enzymes. Then the brain gets confused. We start eating. It's saying the same, it's sending the same message. Oh, there's not food coming in. I'm not going to produce the enzymes. And not only that, most of the gum that people are choosing, the ingredients are toxic, aspartame,
Yeah.
things like that. I didn't realize when, and I didn't even mean to get into this, but I didn't realize when I used to be a gum chewer, after I would chew gum, I didn't even think about it. Why does my stomach hurt? It was from
Yeah, me too.
that little tiny
Yeah,
gum. So
I
we have
know.
all of these things coming at us that, you know, years and years ago, they weren't dealing with these different things. And so they didn't need a higher level of detoxification. But a juice
Mhm.
cleanse is a great way to detox the body. That's why we have such a hard time with it, because our bodies are so addicted to all of these things that we have coming in, the excitotoxins if you're eating out at restaurants, the processed foods that we've been used to eating, you know, that we are getting prepackaged foods, things like that. And so it just really takes us down to this level where we were supposed to be camping out in the first place. And when you come out
Mhm.
of that, things taste, simple things taste so much better. It's so rewarding. The first time that I did one, I ate oatmeal the next day and I didn't need any brown sugar on it, which I don't eat it like that anymore. But it tasted good all on its own. It was like my taste buds came alive. And so that's
Yeah,
another great thing, you know, reason to cleanse is to get those taste buds back in order so that they're
so
actually
true.
food the way, you know, that it was meant to be received. That apple is max flavor,
Yeah,
just the simple things in life. So, and then
yeah,
improved sleep. I mean, there's just so many things, and improved digestion, bowel movements, all that kind of thing. So
yeah,
I had listened to Christina, but I had
yeah.
listened to her story and all of the wonderful things that she experienced. And she was talking about how, well, this was when she went raw, but which to me
Hmm.
it's similar. It's similar.
Yeah,
Obviously, there's another
it is.
component thing, but she was talking about how she
Yeah.
couldn't have a regular bowel movement and she was so sick and tired of being constipated. And when she started on
Wow.
the raw diet, within a few days, she started having regular bowel movements. And just right there, that is life changing. You know, this is why the
Life changing.
elderly sit around and talk about their poop habits, because if they do poop, sorry, this is just something that's that we need to talk about in the health field. If
Yeah.
they did poop, they felt good that day, you know?
You feel so
And
much happier. I remember when I used to eat like crap and I used to be constipated, I would get so moody. Like when I didn't eat clean, I would get so moody. And it makes sense because you're backed up. I used to deal with that too, a lot of constipation or diarrhea. And that's what led me to everything. And I think just like, and I'm so much happier. I have just the best bowel movements ever. And I'm so much happier. I think a lot of people think like on raw foods or whatever, your bowels will be a mess. They're perfect. And they're like, it's perfect, not to give like too much information. But, and I think just like what you were saying with the taste, people just have to get through that period of adjusting. You know, our taste buds do change. I think they say it takes like 21 days, but they do change and then everything does taste better than ever and you feel better than ever. Like I eat good or like juice to like feel good. I eat and drink for like how I want to feel.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yep. Well, we store our emotions in our organs. And when one organ is
Mm-hmm.
affected, they all are.
Mhm.
And so when we nourish and we repair, we feel good. And then those emotions, we can handle our emotions. You know, so many people
Yeah.
with anxiety because they've had stress come in. The body's like, I'm not handling this anymore. Now they have adrenal fatigue. Like these are just great things.
Yeah.
This information, all of these little tidbits of information are ways that we can start to heal and repair and feel better. So I want to
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing this information. You guys, you need to go and check out Gillian Berry on her YouTube channel. She's also on Instagram. She has got so many tidbits of information to help you on your health journey. So go
You
check out
too.
her stuff. And the thing is, like we were talking about, you know, staying the ability to be able to stay motivated by watching a
It's
lot of
okay.
these informational videos. It helps you to stay on track, to stay focused. And just like Gillian had said earlier, it's really about controlling this, controlling your thoughts, to help you
Mhm.
get to a better place in life. So important.
I just want to say one more thing. Sorry, you just reminded me. Your thoughts, that's my favorite part about when I juice cleanse. My mind goes quieter than ever in my life. It is just literally like you're in a state of meditation all the time. So for your thoughts, it's just like you're constantly meditating. I think that's why people say they manifest so much. So if you want to like meditate and take control of your thoughts, a juice cleanse is a great way, especially after like the first, like once you get past the first few days.
Makes so much sense because you have just shot, a ton of nutrients up there, and that's how the brain thrives, is on nutrients.
Mhm.
There's that gut brain connection, healthy gut, healthy brain, and so it all makes complete sense. So
Mhm.
thank you guys for tuning in. I just ask that you will like and subscribe and comment. Let us know what you thought about this, and we'd really like to hear your own experience. Have you done a juice cleanse? How long did you do it for? What was that like for you? We like to hear from you too. You guys have a great day.
Bye, guys.